Yeah, man. Today is a sad day in these YouTube streets, man. I got a lot of emotions, you know what I'm saying, about uh basically what's been going on. I actually, you know what I'm saying, I have a lot of feelings about this shit. Now, first off, I'm gonna say rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. That's first and foremost, man. That shit is crazy. Now, I'm not gonna lie. It was taking very long for the shit to get confirmed, so I was damn near hoping that this shit was a hoax. I don't know, like, this shit sound crazy, you feel me? But I was damn near just hoping, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, motherfucker was just gonna pop in at like 11:30, 11:50 type shit and just be like, you feel me? I thought he was just gonna be like, you know what? I sat back and I watched all the hate and the vitriol and just all this, you know what I'm saying? Really, people was celebrating the fact that this man was gone. You feel me? And that shit was just, it was just crazy. It was like, it's like even through like somebody's tragedy, you gain clarity. Now, I originally heard of Kevin Samuels through Jap, Minister Jap. It was a video, I think he had like a mink on. He was challenging Minister Jap to like some Get Fresh type shit. And you know, I thought Kevin was cool, you feel me? I thought, you know, Kev was a cool dude, you feel me? Like, I originally started off like, I was kind of like a fan, you feel me? Now, here's where the shit kind of get tricky. Because, you know, me being a YouTuber and a part of this space, you know, I study like the whole sphere. And you know, over time I got to feel like, you know, Kevin, he was taking certain people talking points and not giving them credit. You know what I'm saying? He, you know what I'm saying, he eventually fell out with Jap, you know what I'm saying, the Angry Man, some other people that I watch. And it was like a real divide. It was a real divide in the space and shit. And Kevin, he became a controversial figure. And every day it was either, you know, it was something new. People made so many different like channels and shit, like roasting them and all that shit. And it's like, I mean, like, it's too much to get into, you feel me? Like, I had my gripes with Kevin Samuels eventually. I mean, it's so crazy that he passed yesterday, because yesterday I was just thinking to myself, like, how around March of 2020, right when the pandemic started, I was like a fan. And then by August, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't necessarily a detractor because I'm not a hater. But I thought I was seeing through some of the, you know what I'm saying, the things that was going on, because, you know, like, as you go deeper into the YouTube space, you find out that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of these people was collaborating for years. Like Kevin Samuels, that's one thing you gotta give him credit for. He was at this YouTube shit for years, you feel me, before he actually popped and found his lane. But, you know, it was a divide in the space. But what I found is, I feel like with everything that's transpired since his death, I guess it's official now, that I feel like the divide will, yeah, I feel like the divide between men and women, it's only gonna get bigger though, because you feel like whether you love him or hate him, it was a lot of men and a lot of young men who was taking like advice from Kevin Samuels. Me personally, I had I had tuned him out, you feel me, because to me it was like the same old damn near shit show, you feel me, because it was like it's the same type of people calling in with their own delusional thoughts about what it is they felt they deserved, or, you know what I'm saying, like that whole bullshit, you feel me, like, you know that you basically, like, don't nobody with 100,000 or 500,000 will be looking for ideally somebody like with like 5 kids or however many, like on some baby mama shit. So it was like their own masochistic gene that was making women call in to the show, that was damn near like Revenge of the Nerds, because Kevin Samuels had even openly admitted that he himself was rejected by the community as a young man, you feel me? So like in these last few years, I just felt like he found the lane and he leaned into that shit. And I'm like, if y'all foolish enough to call in for a man who basically had no proof of concept for the shit that he was talking about, like he said that he was like this high value man, quote unquote. Like, I had so many gripes with all that shit. Like, it's not enough time in the day to break down like the gripes that I got with the high value shit. First off, anything that was high value, you feel me? Like, you can't get like a high value Bentley. You know what I'm saying? Like that, a high value Bentley is a Bentley that's behind in years type shit. You feel me? I'm talking about like anything that you want that's high value. When I think of high value, I think of like Value City. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like some shit that's like on clearance, like high value. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not enough time to break down just the gripes that you got with, you know what I'm saying, the man's rhetoric. But at the time of his death, I just felt like this shit just so inappropriate for people to be celebrating. Like this man, he like, to my knowledge, he was never convicted of no serious or no violent crimes type shit. So it's just like, I feel like the divide between men and women is gonna grow bigger because I feel like they didn't like him because he was saying shit that they didn't agree with. You feel me? But if you look at the white community or other communities, there's other figures and shit who, you feel me, say all type of controversial shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like, just the way that this shit became the number one trending shit on Twitter, you feel me? It's like, damn, what is it? I mean, I don't know. Like, what does it say about black people, though? Like, if you really think about it, what does it say about black people that we celebrate the death of a man who's not even like a killer? And who really, at the end of the day, like, whether you love him or hate him, he was basically talking about, like, he want people to get married. And why does he want people to get married? Because nuclear families is what build the foundations of a strong country type shit, you feel me? So, this shit is just crazy, like, not, like, I understand men, like they say men are from Mars, women are from Venus. We do speak different language, even though we both speak in the vernacular of English, we speak different languages type shit. You have to understand that. So women had a problem with the delivery of Kevin Samuels. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is just crazy that, like, this shit is like, to me this shit is eye-opening. You know what I'm saying? To me, this shit is eye-opening. You feel me? Like this is something that I heard from Rosebud. I was watching Rosebud, and he was just saying, like, in order to see the worst, like, he always talk about how he bring out the worst in him. He said, like, you know what I'm saying, the difference between the best in him and the worst in him ain't that much. But in order to see the type of women that you're really dealing with, you have to show her the worst version of you feel me? And I feel like probably on screen, that was probably the worst version of Kevin Samuels, you feel me? Because like, he was like he wasn't bashing women, but he was going hard if you didn't qualify to like his standard of what he felt like you know what I'm saying, a woman should be living up to like basically get a quote unquote high value man. You know what I'm saying? He let you have it though. You feel me? And like I mean, you can't really say that he's wrong, you feel me? Because like at the end of the day, somebody call up on some bullshit or on some delusional shit, and it's not like, you know what I'm saying, we was watching this shit and we was like, oh yeah, like she's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, she got 5 kids or she got 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. Oh yeah, she deserve a nigga that, you know what I'm saying, got 100,000. You feel me? Like nobody, like niggas was like, that's why the shit was so popular. The shit had no validity. If the shit had no, you know what I'm saying, like if the shit was just some bullshit, it would have never gotten as big as it is, and women wouldn't have never tried to keep calling in as much as they do to try to prove them wrong. You feel me? Like obviously you seen when he spoke with Nicki Minaj, he was silent. You feel me? Because it's like, whether or not she was saying something that, you feel me, whether or not, like, you know what I'm saying, she might have said some shit that was kind of like off base, like, you know what I'm saying, or even like she was disrespecting that nigga, just to be honest with you. But he was still like, you know what I'm saying, on some obedient shit, because, you feel me, she overqualified. Nicki Minaj, she overqualified, you feel me? Like, nigga, she worth hundreds of millions of dollars type shit, you feel me? So it's like, nigga, it's like, I don't know, man. This shit is just like some spooky shit though. But like, back to what Rosebud was saying, it was like, I feel like we seeing the worst right now. Like I seen this one chick, I don't know. Like I seen this one chick, she was on some Twitter shit. She was just on some shit like, you know what I'm saying, like they was like doing like the, you know what I'm saying, that happy dance. Like, I mean, like, man, you should see the memes they got on this shit. Like, these motherfuckers, man, like, that shit is crazy though. Like, it's a real, like, it's just like a real, like, stronghold. I feel like black women feel like they have over black men. You feel me? Where it's like, nigga, if you don't just fall in line with this shit, with what we agree with on aggregate, you know what I'm saying, in mass, you feel me? It's like, and you know what, for the record, you know what I'm saying, that's like him passing, that's not gonna stop somebody else from, like, it's not gonna stop you from dying alone either though. You feel me? Like, I know there's people that say like, oh yeah, he died alone. Or like it was one chick that said like, oh yeah, who knew a week later he turned to a bag of bones or some shit. But like that's not gonna stop your fate if you continue in the same, you know what I'm saying, path that you're doing. Like that's like the whole thing. Like I know what he's talking about when he say you're gonna die alone, you feel me? Like it's not about like when you in your 30s. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might get lonely and shit. But you know, when you're in your 30s and your 40s, hell, even your 50s, you know what I'm saying? Even in like your 50s and your 60s for some people, it's like you might be lonely, you feel me? But it's like you will still be active enough and able-bodied enough to actually, you know what I'm saying, move around and still maintain, you know what I'm saying, somewhat of a social life, you feel me? But really, like that dying alone shit, that come into play when you like in your 70s and your 80s, and then like shit start kicking in, like, you know what I'm saying, like you might, you know what I'm saying, as you age, you feel me, you might develop like, you know what I'm saying, some type of ailment or some disability, you feel me? And it's like, if you don't have a dutiful child, you feel me, who's willing to take up the responsibility of taking care of you, you feel me, you might be assed out, you feel me? Like you just depending on your one income, is just you know what I'm saying? Like all that independent shit, that shit might come back to bite you in the ass in the long run, you feel me? So that's just something to think about. Like a lot of times we so short-sighted, we so short-thinking, we just thinking that, you know what I'm saying, even men, niggas think that they're gonna be players until they 90 and shit. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit be sounding crazy and shit, but I don't know, man. It's just my toxic spill. I had to get my ramble on. Like, I couldn't ignore it, you feel me? Like, it's something I could not talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? The whole, you know what I'm saying, YouTube was talking about this shit, so I had to get my spill on it. But like I say, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Like I said, these last 2 years, you made an indelible impact on just YouTube in general. You feel me? Like that's undeniable. So you know, man, rest in power, brother.